And happy Monday evening, afternoon, wherever the case may be for you. Welcome to the Jeff Meacham Show here on the Jeff Meacham Network. Of course, our Facebook pages and our Twitter and our YouTube, because that's where we do it. Good afternoon, Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. This is actually going to be the first Jeff Meacham Show, one of the first weekly shows you're going to see from what will ultimately become the new studio back here at the new house. So enjoy. It's not going to look like this forever, obviously, which is why I can wear a green shirt today because green screen will be here and we'll be good to go hopefully in a couple weeks. But anyway, thank you all for being here again as you filter in over the next 43 minutes or so, because we're looking to get out the air by 5 as we always do. So because I'm watching Monday Night Raw on time, hopefully, God. We'll see how that goes. You know how that goes, right? Anyway, thank you all again. Thank you all for watching the Rumble Watch Along on Saturday. That was a lot of fun. Thank you all for watching Dads yesterday. If you happen to catch the Marvel episode, if you didn't, please go on and check that out over at our YouTube channel. And hopefully, with any luck, we have the Dads episode this coming Friday, which is our top 10 non-WrestleMania celebrity moments on both the Jeff Meacham Network and the Cassadine Studios. But again, that's very tentative because of honestly just being able to get it over to JJ in time. But it is almost done being edited. It's just a matter of actually getting it uploaded in time. And again, I should, because the plan today actually was to be on the air after having a late lunch / early dinner, but it did not get here on time because of traffic and BS. So I'm going to be here for the course of the evening. So I will be working on editing while I eat my dinner. Anyway, a lot to talk about for those of you that missed the Rumble Watch Along, and shame on you for missing that show because it was a fun night. Again, I had a lot of people disagreeing with my assessment when Aaron asked the question, what would I rate the Rumble as? And I said 9 out of 10, only because I felt the men's Rumble definitely was lacking. I said on Twitter that it was very poorly paced, and I had quite the backlash, including from my my regular Wednesday collaborator, Greg Cherry, who is going to vehemently disagree with me apparently this week on the Greg Cherry Show. So be on the lookout for that fun little bit of information. Again, it's like, okay, I thought it was a decent show. Everybody has their opinions, and we're all entitled to them, I suppose. Let me just make sure trying to make sure I have stuff I want to show you guys here in the window, so I don't repeat myself, because I don't enjoy doing that all that much, despite the narrative to the contrary. All right, here we go. So I want to talk about first, before we get into the Royal Rumble, because I really want to save more of the Rumble for tomorrow, because that is going to be Talk Wrestling, of course, after NXT on this channel, No DQ, Casa, and the Greg Cherry brand as well. But I do want to give a shout out. I know I haven't necessarily spoken very well of these guys in recent years, or actually at all, because of our my history with them not being at shows they're advertised for that I've happened to have been on. But, and I'm realizing there's a barcode on that. That's not good. Shit. So anyway, all right. So it was announced this morning that the Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark, will be the very first inductees into what will become the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame. And I do have to agree with the statement from Ring of Honor and from the responses on social media. There are no two better suited inductees to be the very first Ring of Honor Hall of Famers than Jay and Mark Briscoe. They've been there from the beginning. They were on the very first show, in the very first match. You know, it was a singles match. I forget which one it's in. I apologize for that lack of memory right there in the moment. But the fact is, Jay or Mark or walked one or the other out for the very first singles match in Ring of Honor, the very first match period in the history of Ring of Honor. So they have been there literally from the beginning. So congratulations to the Briscoes. Well deserved. I understand there's going to be a special Hall of Fame episode of Ring of Honor television coming up this weekend. So be looking out for that over wherever you catch your Ring of Honor feed, because I don't know where they show that. Okay, I'm just going to share my name tag. Okay. So you did see at the start of the show, we are officially counting down to the watch along for WrestleMania. 62 days as we sit here right now until we go live here on the Jeff Meacham Network for the watch along as WWE descends upon AT&T Stadium for the first time in 6 years. And it'll be 2 nights. So they're going for that double 100,000, which will be interesting to see if that plays out or not. But before we got to Mania, we had to go through, of course, the 2022 Royal Rumble Premium Live event. BPC says, I've only ever seen Ring of Honor via YouTube. It's hardly ever shown in the UK, especially on TV. It is hard to find if you're not in a market. I know we don't get it out here on local TV, but it's my understanding that in addition to Fight TV, they do carry the current episode on Ring of Honor Wrestling, ROHWrestling.com. So if you are caught up or want to get caught up, you can use Fight TV to a certain extent, and then you can watch the most recent episode over on Ring of Honor's website. So there is that little bit of help for what it's worth. And again, take my advice exactly for what it's worth. All right. So Saturday was the 2022 Royal Rumble Premium Live event. A lot of things went down in the course of that event. We started out with Roman Reigns retaining the Universal Championship despite being disqualified. He lost the match, but he was disqualified, therefore he retained the title. No Paul Heyman out there, no Usos out there, and Seth Rollins came out in full Shield guard, full Shield music, full Shield everything to get inside the head of the Tribal Chief. It backfired on him to an extent. Yes, he did win the match. He does go home with the winner's purse of the money, if they want to use old terms, like he did in WrestleMania 2, which, by the way, I'm watching that today. That's part of WrestleMania binge is WrestleMania 2, and that's why I'm wearing this shirt. I don't have WrestleMania shirts for every year, so you're not going to see me wearing WrestleMania 3 stuff tomorrow on the Sports Bar or on Talk Wrestling, but I do have this one, so there you go. Anyway, and we found out later through the course of the evening that Roman Reigns is definitely not alone anymore. It turns out this falling out with him and Heyman was a complete ruse in order to once again betray the beast. Heyman has once again turned his back on Brock Lesnar. Bobby Lashley is going into Monday Night Raw tonight as once again, the almighty WWE champion. By the way, make sure you guys check out Raw. I know I don't usually promote Monday Night Raw outwardly, but I am tonight. You're going to hear from Lashley. The almighty era is resuming. Brock is apparently going to name his opponent for WrestleMania, so we're probably going to get an interesting announcement from the Beast Incarnate. And also, we're going to see Ronda Rousey make her first appearance on Raw since 2019. Going to be an interesting night out at Monday Night Raw. And hello to JJ and my niece. Hello, Miss Natalie. It's good to see you both here with me anyway. It's cool that you guys are watching from one of my favorite places in the entire world. So thank you both for watching. Again, the Rumble was last Saturday. We had, Heyman show his true colors as Heyman do, right? We had Becky Lynch remain the Raw Women's Champion. She's pointed out in promos and everything, but it really is true. From the minute she stepped away from WrestleMania 2019 as the double champion, every day she has been active on the WWE roster, she has been a champion. You figure she advocated the championship, walking out almost 2 years ago now to Asuka to go have her child. And the night she came back, she once again walked out with championship gold. So she has not been on an active day at work without a championship in, it will be 3 years if she gets through WrestleMania weekend this year as the Raw Women's Champion. But we'll see who she faces. We know that, again, Ronda Rousey did indeed win the Royal Rumble, as did Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar didn't waste any time in, coming back from having been screwed out of the WWE Championship, and he walked down that aisle and said, all right, I got this, as did Ronda. Great to see Ronda back. Great to see Ronda in full fight mode, great spirits. You could tell she was trying very hard to not smile at the idea that she was back and the fans were happy to see her. She was trying to play it up as the heel, as the jaded, the jilted lover, if you will, of the fans. And she definitely did that in spades on social media and on the interviews she did with WWE.com and the like after the show. So look for a very bitter critter type promo from the baddest woman on the planet tonight. But again, we're going to see both her and Brock tonight on Raw. On the men's Rumble front, before I do this, again, I glad I'm wrong here. I love Edge and Beth so much, and I was firm in my belief that Miz and Maurice would win, and I was wrong, and it's okay because now we get to see hopefully both competitors move on to bigger feuds coming up at WrestleMania and beyond. Men's Rumble kind of was what it was. I mean, actually, this is both Rumbles. The people that were unannounced, but they weren't necessarily unexpected. We pretty much expected everybody you see here to be in the Rumble. We heard about Melina. We hadn't heard about Ivory, I don't think, which is cool to see Ivory at 60. Let's not discount that. We talked about Jim Carrey a couple weeks ago on Dad's being 60 this year. Ivory turned 60. So she's, not exactly, starting out her career or anything. So good on her. Sarah Logan back in the Rumble. Ariane Andrew Cameron back in the Rumble. Alicia Fox, and of course, Mighty Molly, who got blindsided by Nikki ASH and subsequently eliminated. Drew McIntyre appeared in the Rumble, which was a surprise for sure. He was unannounced. He was supposed to have been injured. Bad Bunny was in the Rumble, which was a rumor over the weekend, but not a certainty, as was Shane McMahon. And apparently there's heat on Shane O'Mac for his producing of the Rumble, which, it's very hard for everybody at this channel to hate on Shane O'Mac. We all love Shane McMahon, especially Greg Cherry, on as far as the host contingent of the Jeff Meacham Network is concerned. But man, if he helped produce that and what is going around, the dirt sheets is true, not a good look, Shane. Not a good look. But again, I don't put too much stock in what the dirt sheets say unless I get confirmation from the source themselves, and she doesn't. Lisa Moretti looks damn good for 60. Let's give her a little bit of a applause there. And came out in the RTC gimmick, which was hysterical to see all these years later come back in full mode. Ratnick says Melina had a terrible looking elimination. She didn't look good, but she looked great coming in. Got our buddy Melina, EWF Hall of Famer, friend of the channel. We love Melina. Hopefully we'll get her back on in long form soon. BPC says Men's Rumble was very predictable, especially when Brock lost the championship. Everyone knew Brock was winning. Oh, yeah. I said that on Tuesday, the prediction show. If Brock loses, he's winning the Rumble. If Ronda's there, she's winning the Rumble. But I do want to talk one more thing about the Rumble before we move on from that, crazy night. How about our girl, Mickie James, Hardcore Country, with the theme song, with the Impact Knockouts World Championship, and she looked great. Her and Lita had an interaction there, her and Michelle McCool, where she eliminated Michelle. And I guess today is the anniversary of the 2010 Royal Rumble, where their feud that born out of the Piggy James bullshit was momentarily righted in Mickey's favor as she became the new I think it was the women's championship. It may have been Divas Championship. I really don't know which championship it was. I don't remember. I apologize for that lack of memory again. But whatever it was, Mickie prevailed. It was really cool. Let's see what Mickie, she did. She looked absolutely friggin' amazing. She really did. She looked awesome. And she looked like she was in the best spirits I've seen her in a WWE setting in a very long time. So great for Mickie James. Very happy for her. Hopefully we'll get to see her on the stream here before too long. She is a one-of-a-kind talent, a one-of-a-kind person, and I hope to have her on in a long-form interview before too long. Again, these are the stat boy parts of the show. So let me go ahead and throw those out there now. With her win, Ronda Rousey becomes the third person to win from number 28. Batista has won twice from that. So there's actually 4 number 28s that have won. Just Batista's done it twice. And, of course, Becky Lynch when she won the Royal Rumble a couple of years ago. And, yeah, again, Jay, Trisha's 2 biggest rivals, Lita and Mickie, got to mix it up. That was awesome. And, again, remember, Lita retired. Mickie James retired Lita at the 2006 Survivor Series. So Mickey's had a big part in the final original run moments of both Trish Stratus and Lita. So there's that. And Brock Lesnar becomes the 4th man to win the Royal Rumble from number 30. In the Men's Rumble, of course, Undertaker, John Cena, and Triple H coming before him. So lucky number 27 is no longer the only lucky number. You figure there's 4 people that have won from 28 if you count the 2 women and Batista, and then 4 men who have won from number 30. So the number 27 stigma, or the the luckiness of the number is no longer a thing for what that stat is worth. And that, of course, is Statboy approved. Hopefully. I haven't talked to Statboy, but I'm sure it is. Anyway, Radnick says, I wish they would have focused more on actual wrestling with the Rumble match. Too much time spent in the corners, not enough in ring action. Again, that's one of those where, these two Rumbles this year, they were faster pace than I've ever seen. I'm not going to even pretend to. I'm not going to disagree with that whatsoever. It was interesting that the women's Rumble seemed like it was better. And I do believe it was a better match than the men's Rumble. I'm shaking the desk, and I'm sorry, you guys. Sorry for the Blair Witch moment there. But yeah, there definitely could have been a lot more. I wonder if they were trying to get stuff in on time or whatever. But both matches definitely felt underdeveloped when it came to in-ring competition. I do agree with you, Radnick, for sure. Ernie Eastman, okay, I'm gonna leave that comment there. Whatever. Chris says, "Hey Jeff, thoughts on tonight's Raw? Tonight on Raw, we were in AJ Styles versus Rey Mysterio and Kevin Owens versus Austin Theory, where the winner goes to the WWE Championship Elimination Chamber match on February 19th. Oh, there you go. Again, I will not be actively watching the show over in Saudi Arabia unless Impact's No Surrenders off the air, because Noah Foster and probably James and whoever else on the team wants to join that fun will be doing a live watch along reaction show of Impact's No Surrender on the 19th. We'll be doing predictions for the chamber, but not the actual watch along. So, but again, AJ and Mysterio, that sounds like a phenomenal match. No pun intended. I really didn't mean the pun there. And Owens and Austin Theory will be interesting, but I have a feeling we're going to see Vince's boy get his way here. We'll see. And again, JJ is right to an extent. Unless you're number 1 and 2, there is no time for wrestling in the Rumble. But if they had it back at 2 minutes, there's more of a time for like a little bit of a breather in between. I appreciate that you're joking, Ernie, and I get that, but I'm trying very hard to not be negative Ninny toward personal people. I will bitch about the way championship matches are laid out, how shows are laid out, but the petty social media posting is just. I'm trying very hard to stay above it, right? All right, as we approach, let's see, what time is it here? As we approach one of our friend Rob Van Dam's favorite times of the day here on the West Coast anyway, we'll send you into a break with giving you a look at one of our one of our best friends, the Renegade himself, who was in the chat room watching with, as he said, his little britches. We're going to show you what's coming up as he makes his return to doing his thing, also WrestleMania weekend, and that's coming up on April 1st. Here's a look at what's coming out in 2022 for our buddies at the Cassidy Teen Studios. And you can find everything there and everything from the last year and a half, 2 years he's been back. I forget the date. I apologize, Jay. And everything we've done before on Dad's prior to Dad's officially moving to this channel over at youtube.com/Cassidy Studios. I had a nice big graphic and I can't find it, of course, because I was on a time constraint there. So sorry, Jay. Oh, there it is. I found it. We'll go ahead and put that up there in a second here. There it is. Cool. All right. Anyway, JJ, again, it's not April Fool. JJ is coming back. For those of you that are the doubting Thomases of the world, we will see JJ back on April 1st. And again, all throughout the rest of 2022. So looking forward to seeing Renegades Reviews return. Again, with open mic night being on the non-dads Fridays, it's going to be busy here on the channel because you'll have the official airing of Renegades Reviews at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll have the replay at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then open mic night at 11 p.m. Eastern on the Jeff Meacham Network. So fun Fridays, to be sure. And that first Friday of April, the first Friday of the weekend, we've got all those shows. We've got Supercard of Honor from Ring of Honor making their return, and WrestleMania weekend is that weekend. So great things ahead for everybody in the world of professional wrestling. Chris says, I'm having a hard time hitting the notifications bell on Facebook. I don't know how that works, Chris. I'm sorry, I don't. I don't actually have the notification bells on Facebook set up. YouTube, I barely even know how to do that because I'm very technology illiterate, despite the narrative to the contrary. I don't know what I'm doing. No idea. All right. Anyway, again, just a lot of cool stuff coming up, but I do want to go ahead and throw up the official stats, the official Rumble match entry. Here it is. All 60 entries into the 2022 Royal Rumble matches. Again, we started off with just a great on both ends. We had Sasha Banks and Melina start off the women's Rumble. AJ Styles and Nakamura start off the men's Rumble. And, it was great to see our buddy Melina back in. It was great to see, a lot of people that I've had a chance to work with over the years in both matches, which was nice. It was really cool. It's cool to see the Sonya Deville Naomi thing continue, and we'll probably get that at Mania, which would be cool. We did have Ronda eliminate Charlotte Flair, which is lending credence. Good freaking Lord, Meacham, to the idea that we're going to see Ronda versus Charlotte at Mania. I know everybody's talking about Ronda versus Becky, which is the match that I personally want to see. But again, we don't book the territory. We just watch this stuff, right, folks? For what it's worth, the previously lucky number 27 slot in the men's Rumble this year went to Bad Bunny, who was there toward the end, but realistically, you weren't going to have him have that kind of a moment, right? He was in the match, and it was cool to see him, but Johnny Knoxville was in there fairly early on. He came in right after Sammy did. They had their thing. I hope it's a one and done. I know Stephanie praised him on social media, and that's what she's supposed to do. She's the chief brand officer, but yeesh. Shane coming in so late, and again, if the Heat reports are true and he booked that shit himself, then that's his bad, I think. I think they could have done a lot differently, a lot better things with Shane O'Mac and his presentation Saturday night. Comment here from Rennick. Well, speaking of Shane, what is Shane doing at Mania, if anything at all? Again, what is there for Shane McMahon, the character? What's the motivation? Unless he's with Austin Theory, which I did talk about. I posted card predictions earlier today, and it was very hard to read, y'all. I do apologize for that, by the way. Let me see if I can make the screen a little bit bigger, as I can go ahead and present it to you guys here. That way you guys can see it better. Because I know it was hard to read and zoom in on social media, so I do apologize for that. So that's what I had laid out for WrestleMania as of earlier this afternoon. That looks like shit. There we go. That looks better. Again, Roman and Lesnar, Ronda and Charlotte, Lashley and Owens. I saw somebody earlier had Lashley versus Owens versus Rollins. I personally want to see Seth Rollins face Damian Priest, because Damian Priest is his character, the way they're presenting him right now, would be a perfect foil for the antagonistic Seth Rollins. Becky versus Bianca. I know people want to see Becky and Ronda, as do I. But if they are going with Charlotte Flair against Ronda, then I think Bianca owes Becky a big receipt on a Big Four stage. WrestleMania is right there. AJ and Edge has been long rumored since Edge came back from injury. I'm here for it. Sasha and Bayley is one of those where not necessary to an extent, but they also, I think, would be well served for a WrestleMania stage to have one of their major blow off matches. Orton and Riddle, again, I'm hoping that's the case, right? And if the rumors are true and Riddle was again supposed to be in the Rumble last night and win the Rumble Saturday night, then hell, we'll see how it goes. Again, the Bellas and Carmella, the Bellas versus Carmella and Queen Zelina. God, Bellas, easy for me to say. That's just a possibility I'm thinking of because the Bellas have thought so much about being women's tag team champions. Again, I mentioned Shane McMahon and Austin Theory. Big E and Drew, again, that's one that was touched on when both guys were WWE champion, but never really followed through on. And I think both guys could have they were robbed of their championships and they're bitter about it. And they could have, not either one of them really be a definitive babyface or definitive heel in that match. It'd be cool. And then you've got, again, Nakamura versus Happy Corbin. I just like Nakamura and I want him to be on the card. And, realistically speaking, you probably do some stupid shit like Corbin winning the Intercontinental Championship, which barf, but there's where it is. So I just what I thought. Anyway, Big E versus interesting. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate that. And again, Chris, I did put Nakamura and Priest up there as a thing. So there you go. Ernie asked me, what do I think of CM Punk and AEW, and is GR a bad person outside of the ring? GR. Are you referring to JR? Jesus Christ. Sorry, that was the kiddo. I forgot to put that thing on silent. Either one of them, not me, I'm at the other house longer than I expected to be. Sorry about that. Gotta do your thing, right? If you're referring to JR as a bad person outside of the ring, I don't know if he is or not. I don't. As far as I know, he's not. Lita and Charlotte was teased, and I did. That was talked about as Lita was on SmackDown doing her appearances, but they're talking now that Lita may not be suited or 100% ready for a one-on-one singles match, so that's why they're having the what do you call it? The Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair thing. We'll see. Again, I distracted. I apologize. I got text coming in. JJ says I'd rather see Boogs versus Madcap. Yeah, I mean, really, they could be a tag match as well. We've been doing that about 500 times on SmackDown, but I want to see the Intercontinental Championship defended on WrestleMania, and I think I'm not alone in that. Even though the Intercontinental Championship and Nakamura as champion have both been presented very poorly. Jay, we got to talk about, I don't remember why, so forgive me, but why Kelly is on your barf list. I know why Alicia Fox is. We both had the same reason for having Alicia Fox on the barf list, but I'm curious on the Kelly thing. We'll talk off air. Oh, if you want to throw it in the chat room, that's cool too. Chris says, I feel we are getting Shinsuke versus Sheamus for the IC Championship. Again, they are also doing Madcap, not Madcap Moss, Ridge Holland, with Sheamus, so we could also see Ridge Holland do his thing. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities for Nakamura, but I just the smart money for me is, again, you mentioned Sheamus, so either Sheamus or Ridge Holland or one of those other yokels, Corbin or Moss. And again, I understood what you meant. You said GR. Are you meaning Jim Ross as in JR was my reply to your question, because if you're referring to JR, he is, from what I understand, a wonderful person. Again, he's been through a lot of shit in the last few years. He lost his wife. He's dealing with cancer right now, or skin cancer. So, and he's had the facial paralysis stuff over the years. So you could give him a little slack if he's, a little touchy feely these days as far as his life goes. I don't begrudge JR a damn thing. I really don't. Love JR personally. Never had a chance to meet him, unfortunately, but I've heard great things about good old JR. And that's they kind of what do you call it? He's the reason I got the good old JM tag from Aaron and everybody. Ryan says, I'm sorry I'm late to the party. Was doing DDP yoga workout. There you go. By the way, I did say I was going to start DDPY today. I only did not because I can't find the 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 discs I need to use, nor my heart tracker. But I did go for a walk today with the puppy, and I also did quite a bit of walking around my neighborhood at the old house, and quite a bit around here. And we're going to do more walking to go home today. So the exercise is getting in. Anyway, my thoughts on the Rumble were the title matches were good, and the Rumble matches themselves were lackluster, predictable. That's pretty much the night summed up in a nutshell. The Rumble matches kind of just were there. The title matches were very well done. The stories were told very well. Okay, CM Punk. Is he a good guy in person? I have never met Punk directly myself. Let me just be clear on that right now off the top. The only interaction I've had by proxy with CM Punk is when he was at the JJ, help me with the dates here, 2017 NHL All-Star Game weekend, and my dad ran into him at the event. I was not there because I was working, I think. I was working. I was still working at Volleyball back then. And they had a good interaction. Apparently, Punk knew who I was because when my dad handed him when dad's out and is not prepared for an autograph to be given for whatever, he brings out one of his business cards from work. So he handed CM Punk the card, and CM Punk looked at the name and kind of gave my dad a once over, and he says, "Is your son?" And asked about me. Oh, geez. So Punk does know who I am, and the fact that I was very critical of CM Punk 11 years ago, 10 and a half years ago, with the whole John Cena storyline, and he went out of his way to make sure that he acknowledged that I was my dad's child and signed the autograph for me. He's cool in my book. So again, it's my show, my network, the Jeff Meacham Show. That's my story. I'm sticking to it on the CM Punk front. I'm sorry. I take that back. I did interact with him once, but that was 2003, 2004 CM Punk, who was still very, very jaded about life and everything. So different person. But I prefer to believe that he's a better person now than the person I met at PWG almost 20 years ago. JJ says Women's Rumble is greater than Men's Rumble. Definitely, as someone who doesn't watch wrestling full time, I gave the show an 8 out of 10. See, and again, if JJ is not a full timer and gives it 8 out of 10, I am a full timer. Obviously, I gave it a 9. But I'm looking forward to the debate. I'm looking forward to Greg and I having our discussion, arguments, disagreement, whatever you want to call it, coming up on Wednesday. I know it's a very psychedelic graphic. I apologize. I just realized how bad that is. God damn, that's making my eyes hurt. Coming up Wednesday at 7 o'clock over on the Greg Cherry brand and right here on the Jeff Meacham Network. A lot of stuff coming up, but I do want to throw a brief little break here to our buddy Lex, who is actually getting married in 2 days. So if you can't think of anything great to get a bride-to-be for a wedding gift, support her small business. So yeah, Lex, again, congratulations, darling. I'm sure you're not watching because you're knees deep in the wedding prep in only 2 days. Holy shit. So awesome. Good on you, sweetheart. Congratulations. I hope the day goes well, and I know you and the hubby will be happy. Chris, again, we're going to have a full-on Elimination Chamber prediction show coming up on Thursday, February 17th at, again, 7. Actually, it won't be right at 7 o'clock. It'll be after WTC finishes on the Greg Cherry brand. So whenever that show is done, we'll go live right to you over on here on the Jeff Meacham Network, as well as probably other affiliates too. Ryan, not really sure what you're asking here as far as Luger or Luther. If you're referring to Lex Luger, the former wrestler who's now working in the WWE Wellness Department, what are you asking about Lex exactly? Oh wait, sorry, my buddy Lex. No. It's Lex, our favorite baker. She actually made my Santa cookies. I totally went way over my head. See that sun bitch go over my head? That was way over. I apologize, Ryan. Wow. No, it's not Lex Luthor or Lex Luger. No, I've known Lex. See, JJ and I met Lex. I want to say it was definitely when I was still living down in the old the Long Beach apartment. So I want to say 2013, maybe even 2014. Through Disney. Of course, she was working at Disney at the time, and we were into the pin trading. She came to a couple of our events, and she's just a doll. We love her over at the Constantine Studios. So congratulations again, Lex. We love you, girl. All right, so let's go ahead and start doing this plug stuff because that's what I'm going to do now because that's getting that time. All right, so tomorrow again. New title for our buddy over in Tennessee. It's Stat Boys Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. We're gonna have full coverage of the conference championship games, early thoughts on Super Bowl, and a recap from their perspective of the 2022. Again, they were on the watch along briefly, but with the delays we have in technology, it was difficult to get everybody's comments filtered properly and just displayed properly. Matt, hello again. Again, everybody, please hit the like button, especially on YouTube and Facebook. Please like, and hell, even on Twitter, like it everywhere. But we definitely need the subscriptions. We definitely need to have the view counts go up. So please, everybody subscribe, everybody like, and everybody get those algorithms moving. Chris says, can you see Hangman Adam Page versus Adam Cole for the AEW Championship at Revolution? Why not? Adam Cole's right there. So I don't see why not. Adam Cole's always a main event level player, at least wherever he's been. So I don't see why that can't be a thing. That looks like shit. I'm trying to get the shot lined up with this new setup. And again, this is going to change drastically in the next. We'll probably have everything set up, ready to go, pretty by WrestleMania weekend. So that'll be the big thing when we go on the air for WrestleMania Night 1. We'll have the full Monty, if you will. Ryan said, are WWE going Saturdays with their premium events? That seems to be the trend they're going toward. I mean, I know Rumble was. I know Day One was. I'm pretty sure Money in the Bank and SummerSlam both on a Saturday again. SummerSlam was on a Saturday last year. I was there. So we'll see. And then Mania, of course, has been 2 nights for the last couple of years now. So we'll see. Richard said everyone fantasy booked themselves into a rage with the Rumble. Now they are crapping on what I thought was a good pay-per-view. Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Right there. Quote of the night. I really can't say anything better. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know what? Hell with it. I'm going to wrap up with that right now because he hit the exact mark I was trying to hit about the Rumble. So I'm going to end on that note. Thank you very much, Richard. I appreciate it, brother. Where's my there? No, where the hell's my I don't know where it is. Crap. Well, I don't have it here. Oh well, that's okay. Anyway, thank you all. Have a great Monday night. Check out Monday Night Raw. We'll be back here again tomorrow with Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou. All right, fine, you got one more out of me. Chris says, do you see AEW one up being WWE with the Forbidden Door and having Okada or other New Japan talent involved in major storylines? It really did nothing for Impact, though. Don't be surprised if we get more people crossing those lines. And again, the Forbidden Door at WWE was literally one person. Literally one person. Again, Richard said it best. I'm just going to leave that right there. We work ourselves into a freaking shoot, into a rage with this Rumble booking, and now we're all bitter critters about it. It's just stupid. Anyway, guys, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow for Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou, as well as Talk Wrestling. See ya.